Hello students, good morning. So in today's class we are going to discuss on a new chapter, that is staffing. So we have already finished business environment. Yes. So see that you are preparing your notes, you are ready with your notes. You will have to submit your notes by next week. So I'll be giving a date for you to submit the notes. So be prepared with the notes. Keep your notes ready and neat. Okay. So today we'll discuss about staffing. So while I started the class for the management, that is for your second year, in the beginning class I told you that management functions becomes very important, or it plays a prominent role when it comes to management. So which are the management functions? They are planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So here planning is said to be the base of all the other functions of management. Planning is said to be the base of the other functions of management. So you plan something into the organization, or which has to be done into the organization, and you organize that particular thing which are required for the organization. Yes, once the planning is done, you organize those things which are required, or you bring together all the necessary things which are required for the business organization, or required for running the business organization. So once the organization's structural design is in place, it needs people with a right skill, that is staffing has to be made. Why? Because not just planning and getting things which are required for accomplishing the objective is enough, but we need a very good or an efficient or effective workforce in order to see that the things which are brought together, yes, the things which are integrated and the plans are getting executed. So only when the staffing is done in a proper manner, then only that at that particular situation you can say that the organization can achieve its objective. Why? Because not just putting a plan or organizing the things or getting the things in order to achieve the objective is enough. Yeah, so what you have to do is, like, you have to utilize those resources in an effective manner. So using that particular resource in an effective manner becomes very important. So if that particular resource or the resource has to be used in a proper manner, then you will have to have a good amount of workforce, or efficient workforce in the organization. So once the organizational structure is in, that is, structural design is in place, then it needs people with right skill, knowledge and ability. It needs right skill. So not just someone who will work is not enough for the business organization. The organization has to see that it is getting that kind of people who are effective for the business organization, or who can bring good results to the business organization. So the person with a right skill maybe, or knowledge, and also the ability to fill that particular structure, that is nothing but a right person for a right job. This according to the specification, or according to the specialization. If each and every work of the organization is assigned, if each and every work of the organization is assigned, then what happens? It helps the organization in achieving the organizational objective. So usually what happens is, like, so people are an organization's most important resource. Yeah, they are the organization's most important resource, because of a reason that people either create or undermine the organization's reputation. So with the help of staffing, or with the help of a worker, either the organization will improve or the organization totally declines. It is nothing but, like, people either they create the organization, or they undermine the organization's reputation, yes, for quality in both the products and services. So this is what happens. So a good worker is said to be an asset for the business organization. A good worker is said to be a principal asset of any business organization. Okay, so the success of every business organization depends on the talented and hardworking people who are principal assets of any organization. Yeah. So if the organization has a talented workforce or hardworking people in the organization, then it is easy for them to achieve its objective. So employees are much more important asset than building or equipment. Yeah, employees are much more important assets than building and equipment. So as they can give an organization a competitive edge. So these people, that is the employees or the workforce in the organization, it gives a competitive edge for an organization. Okay, so in order to get the things done by others, so management is nothing but it is the art of getting things done by the help of others, or it is nothing but it is a process of getting the work done through others. So in order to get the work or things done by others, yes, okay, in order to get the things done by others, organization, it requires a good or a right person at right place at right time and in right number. Yes, right person, that is right person is nothing but who is a apt for a person for that particular job or designation or that particular vacancy available in the organization. Yeah, one is right person at a right place. So that right person should be put in that particular work in which he is specialized in. ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸೊ ಆ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ should be put in the right place. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಮತ್ತು ರೈಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಾರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, it is very important that the person who is right or well suited for the job should be available at a right time. Yes, ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ important. That is a right person for a right job at a right time and in right numbers. For example, ನಮಗೆ 10 ಜನ ಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, 10 ಜನ ಕೆಲಸದವ್ರು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ರೈಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ರೈಟ್ ಜಾಬ್. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 10 ಜನ ಬೇಕು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೀ 2 ಅಥವಾ 3 ರೈಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್. ಸೊ ಅ ರೈಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ at a right place at a right time and in right number is very important. So because of the importance of hiring and maintaining a committed and a competent staff, effective staffing is very crucial. It is very crucial to the success of any organization. So efficient or effective staffing becomes very crucial to the success of every organization. Clear? So next we'll move to the meaning. So till now I was giving an introduction for staffing. So next we'll move to the meaning of staffing. So after planning and selection of the organization structure, like I told you in the introduction, after planning and selection of organization structure, the next step in the management process is to fill the various posts provided in the organization. Yeah, so this is termed as the management of staffing process. This is termed as the management of staffing process. So the concept of staffing or the process of staffing takes place. There are different functions when it comes to staffing. Okay, it cannot be done as a how you wish. Okay, so it's like there is a process, so that process has to be maintained. So first there is a recruitment, then it goes to selection. So once the recruitment is done, we go to selection, then training takes place, then development of employee will take place. So according to his development or according to his work, he will be promoted. Yes, he will be provided compensation for the work which is done. Yes, Okay, he will be paid with compensation for the work which he has done, and also the performance appraisal. So what you do is like you appraise or you evaluate the performance of the employee in the organization. So this is what happened in plan about this your staffing. Okay, so what is this staffing? Okay, staffing is that part of the process of management. Staffing is that part of the process of management which is concerned with obtaining, utilizing and maintaining, obtaining, utilizing and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. Maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. Satisfactory and satisfied workforce. Clear? Satisfactory and satisfied workforce. Yeah, I repeat, staffing is that part of the process, of management, which is concerned with, obtaining, utilizing and maintaining a satisfactory and satisfied workforce. So today, so staffing, it may involve any combination of employee. Yeah, it may involve any combination of employee. It may include a daily wager or a consultant maybe, or a contract employee, or a monthly salaried person. So all this is a combination, or it involves any combination of employees. So staffing, it recognizes the importance of every single person. It recognizes the importance of every single person employed by an organization. Every single person employed by an organization. So as it is the individual worker who is the ultimate performer of the business organization. So the ultimate worker of the that is the ultimate performer of the business organization is the worker himself. So he will have to perform his best in order to see that the organization is achieving its objective. So staffing, it can be meant in this manner also, or the meaning of staffing can be written in this manner also. Write down, staffing has been described as the managerial function of filling and keeping filled the positions in the organization structure. Okay, so here under staffing, this can be achieved by identifying the requirement of the workforce, then followed by, like I told you, recruitment, and after recruitment it goes to selection. Then after the person is selected, he will be placed, it is placement takes place, then he will be promoted, then he will be appraised, development of personnel will take place. So to fill the roles designed in the organization structure. So all these are done in order to fill the roles designed in the organization structure. Okay, so in a new enterprise, the staffing function follows the planning and organizing functions. In a new enterprise, the staffing function, it follows the planning and the organizing functions. Okay, so after deciding what is to be done, how it is to be done, and after creation of the organization structure, the management is in a position to know the human resource requirement of the enterprise at different levels. So it requires human resource at different levels. So once the number and types of personnel to be selected is determined, management, what it does is it starts with the activities relating to recruitment, selection, training, then development, then performance appraisal, compensation, and all. Okay, so staffing is a continuous process. It is a continuous process. So why it is said that it is a continuous process is because a new job may be created and some of the existing employee may leave the organization. So when a new job is created in the organization and when existing employee of an organization leaves the job, then the organization will have to come up with the recruitment, that is staffing process. So it is said that it is a continuous process. So the next concept is importance of staffing. So when coming to organization, so any organization or in any organization, so there is a need for the people to perform work. So there is no organization without people. So there are requirement of people in the organization to perform the work in the organization. So what the staffing does is, the staffing function of management fulfills its requirement and finds the right person for the right job. So the work of staffing is to find out the right person, that is the apt person for that particular job available in the organization. So basically staffing, it fills the position as shown in the organization structure. So according to the things which are already brought together in the organization. So what staffing does is it fills the position as shown in the organization structure. So organization structure will show certain requirement. So what they do is, like, staffing is done on the basis of the organization structure which is showed in the organization. So human resource, like I told you, are the foundation of any business. So they are the primary or the principal asset of any business organization. So without staffing, it is very difficult or it is not possible for a business organization to carry out its operation. So the right people can help the person, that is the management or the owner of the business organization, to take the business to the top. The right people or the right person in the organization will help the entrepreneur to take the business to the top. On the same way, the wrong person or the wrong people in the organization can break the business. That is totally, they can spoil the business. Yeah. So the staffing functions, it has a greater importance these days, particularly these days because of a reason of rapid advancement in technology. The technology is advancing day by day. It is changing day by day. Okay, so one is the advancement of technology, or the second one may be increasing in the size of organization. So as the size of organization increases, the requirement of the employees in the organization also increases, and also the complicated behavior of human beings. So human behavior, like I told you, it changes. So there are chances that they may leave the organization for one or the other reason sometimes. Okay, so at that particular situation, the organization will have to carry out the staffing process. So the ability of an organization to achieve its goal, the ability of an organization to achieve its goal depends upon the quality of a human resource. So if the human resource is qualitative in the organization, then it can achieve its objective very easily. On the other hand, when the human resource is not that effective or efficient, then the organization finds it difficult to achieve the objective. Okay, so staffing is very important managerial function. So no organization can be successful until it can fill and keep filled the various position provided in the organization or provided by the organization structure. So what are the benefits? That is a proper staffing, what it does is it ensures certain benefits. So what are the importance of staffing? So what are the benefits of staffing? Okay, the first one is helps in discovering and obtaining competent personnel for various jobs. It helps in discovering and obtaining competent personnel. Yeah, staffing, it helps to discover and obtain a competent or an efficient personnel for various job available in the organization. So in simple, it says that it helps to have a efficient workforce or a competent personnel. It helps, that is staffing process helps to obtain or discover the competent or efficient personnel for various job available in the organization. So the second one is makes for higher performance by putting right person on the right job. Makes for higher performance by putting right person on the right job. So when a right person is put into a right job according to a specialization, and a right person is put into a right job, then obviously what happens? The performance of the organization increases. It helps in higher performance. So if a wrong person is put into a job, then obviously it will hinder or reduce the performance of the organization. Yeah, so when a right person is put into the organization for a right job, it increases the performance of the organization. The third one is ensures the continuous survival and growth of the enterprise through the succession planning for manager. Ensures the continuous survival and growth of the enterprise to the succession planning for manager. So what it does is staffing, it sees that there is a continuous planning, that is a succession planning with the managers or by managers to have a continuous survival and growth of the enterprise. So it ensures the continuous survival. So one is survival and the growth of the organization becomes very important. So not just survival is enough, growth of the organization also becomes very important. So it sees that through the succession planning for managers, it ensures continuous survival. So if there is succession planning, then managers can see that there is a growth in the organization. The works are going exactly according to the plans done by the organization. The fourth one is helps to ensure optimum utilization of human resource. Helps to ensure optimum utilization of the human resource. So the resources in the organization has to be utilized to a greatest extent. It is optimum utilization or fuller utilization of human resource has to be made. So how this can be made is by avoiding overmanning. Yeah, when overmanning, that is excessive of manpower than the required. So ಏನು ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಉಂಟು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಪವರ್ ಬರುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯುಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್. So it prevents under utilization of personnel. Yeah, it prevents underutilization of personnel and high labor cost. So when more people are employed in that organization, yes, so ಏನು ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಬರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes, okay, labor cost increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The second one is ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ದು ಏನು ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಕೇರ್. ಸೊ what you have to do is like you'll have to make optimum utilization of resource. So in order to make optimum utilization of resource, what you can do is like you can avoid overmanning, which prevents underutilization of personnel as well as high labor
cost. So at the same time, what it does is it avoids disruption of work by indicating in advance the shortage of personnel. It avoids disruption of work by indicating in advance the shortage of personnel. So it also avoids the disruption or what a breaking of work by indicating in advance the shortage of personnel available in the organization. So what happens, the optimum utilization of human resource can be made in a proper manner. The fifth one is it improves job satisfaction and morale of employees through objective assessment and fair reward for their contribution. So one is job satisfaction is provided to the employees of the organization. So when job satisfaction is provided, when job satisfaction is provided to the employees of the organization, it helps them to perform better in the organization. And second one is like it improves the morale, morale of the employee. So how the morale of the employee or the honesty of the employee or the effectiveness of the employee is increased is through objective assessment. So the employees in the organization are assessed, and what they do is like they provide fair reward for their contribution. So for the contribution in the sense for the contribution of the employee. So according to the performance given by the employees in the organization, so they will be rewarded. So the employees in the organization will be rewarded according to the what contribution which is made by them towards the organization. So staffing functions, what it does is it must be performed efficiently by all organizations. Staffing functions, it has to be performed efficiently by all the organizations. So if right kind of employee, if right kind of employees are not available, yes, if right kind of employee is not available, it will lead to wastage of material. So how it will lead to wastage of material is the wrong employee or the wrong person will not have effective or enough idea to use the particular resources. They will not have any idea regarding how a particular resource has to be used. Okay, so it will lead to wastage of material. So not just wastage of material but also the time, effort and energy. Not just wastage of material but also the time, effort and energy gets wasted. Okay, so when a wrong person is put into the organization, one is the wastage of resource take place. Yes, on the same time there is wastage of time, effort and energy, so which will result in lower productivity, which will result in lower productivity. So when productivity reduces, there is poor quality of product. Yes, okay, so when productivity or wastage of material and effort and energy is reduced, one is the productivity reduces and also it ends up in getting poor quality of product. So the enterprise will not be able to sell its product profitably. So the reason why it will not be able to sell its product profitably is because of wastage of resource, that is wastage of material or time, effort, energy, all this. And one more thing is like the lower productivity and poor quality of product. So they will not be able to sell their product profitably. So it is therefore essential for right kind of people must be available in the right number at right time. Right kind of people at a right number and at a right time is very important. So they should be given adequate training. They should be given adequate training so that wastage is reduced to a greatest extent. So wastage can be minimized. So they must also be induced to show higher productivity and quality by offering them proper incentives. So they have to be provided with certain amount of incentive. So what happens is when the employee in the organization is provided with certain amount of incentive, then obviously what they do is like they put more of their efficiency. So it must also be induced to show higher productivity. So in order to show higher productivity, the employee in the organization will have to be offered with certain amount of incentive. So certain amount of incentive will make the employee happy, which in turn will make him put more effort towards the work that is done in the organization or done for the organization. So if it is not provided with incentive, if is not provided with incentive, then what happens? It becomes a problem. Why? Because even though the person who is employing the organization has efficiency, he may not put all his dedication and efficiency towards the organization or achieving the organizational goal. So certain amount of incentive should be given, and the other one is like certain adequate training is to be given to the employee, so that it will help to reduce the water losses or wastage in the organization. The efficiency of the employee increases, he becomes specialized, so the losses or the wastage can be minimized to a greatest extent.